Hey y'all, it's Coffee Munster, and we're back with this week's reads, our Herd Reads. And we have Mike with us because
What's
he
up?
is a
What's going
big
on?
avid reader now.
Yes, I am. I learned how to read.
How long did it take to get through your first comic book when you started reading?
Oh, like 2 days, 3 days. Because I can only read for so many minutes, and then I get tired.
So I find with comic books that's why I can read them so easily because I have ADHD, as you could tell, and so when I'm reading them, I feel like because the pictures and it keeps like changing all the
Yeah,
time throughout the story, that's why I can keep better track than reading like a novel.
yeah. Oh, yeah. These are way easier to read because they're short and there's lots of stuff to look at. I need pictures.
Yeah, yeah, definitely pictures. Well, and I like the ones where honestly there's a lot more art even than writing, which is cool too.
Yeah.
So other than Harley, before we get into our reads for this week, what other stuff have you been reading?
Um, Nothing yet. Just this book that I picked up that has a bunch of short little like love stories. Um, I did pick up a four run set or 4 book set of Guy Gardner Green Lantern. I do want to read that because I know he's kind of like me. He's an asshole and kind
Yeah,
of a rebel. So I do want to read that.
I collect that too. I also have read a lot of the early issues. I haven't read any of the newer ones. Are you get collecting the current?
No, this one's an older one, I think. Yeah, it's a little bit older.
Okay, yeah, those
I
ones are the
picked it
better
up for a
ones.
few bucks. Yeah, so I want to. Yeah, I do want to read that.
That's dope. Okay, well then you share first. I'm excited to hear about your books.
All right, so I have been reading this that I picked up like a month ago. It looks like it's basically like a bunch of Valentine's Day. It came out around that time, I think. Um, so yeah, it's got a bunch of short stories and stuff. The one that I actually just read this morning that I really liked had to do with it was Kite Man. And if you've watched the animated show over on Max, you know that character. And it seems like this book is kind of some of the stories are geared towards that show.
Yeah.
They tie into that show a little bit. That one was pretty funny because if you watch the show, Kite Man's kind of he's a superhero, but uh, or wants to be a villain, but
He's kind
he's
of
kind of a
goofy.
he's kind of a
Yeah.
loner,
Yeah.
and that's basically what this story was. Is he's trying to everybody's out on Valentine's Day and he's sad and he sees this girl sitting by herself and tries to talk to her and she's like, no, I'm good, like I'm not interested. So he goes home, reads a book that he has, like a love story book, and kind of takes himself into it, like imagines himself into it. And the Joker ends up showing up towards the end. He gets married to his kite. Uh, and then the girl that he met in the beginning actually shows up. She wants to hang out with him, and he's basically in love with his kite. And she was like, "No, go away. I'm busy. I got someone here already." It was like real weird, but it was pretty
Yeah.
funny.
I like his character though. In the anime series, he dates Ivy for a little bit. No?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does for I think the first season.
I think they make him
Yeah, he
really
dates her
goofy
for a
though.
little bit.
Like he's super a goofy character or whatever in there.
But yeah, it was a funny little story because it takes that version of his character from the show, kind of quirky and weird.
Yeah.
So I did read that one. There was another one I read with Batman. He's talking about how Valentine's Day is usually busy for the villains because everybody's out and they got fancy gifts and jewelry and stuff. And uh, this character, I can't remember his name. I mean, I can't remember his name, Bomberman or something like that. He rolls in. This couple's out at dinner and he's proposing, and this guy busts through the wall and decides to he puts this bomb on the husband's shoulder and takes off. So, but they need his fingerprints to open it, to turn off the bomb. So Batman takes the guy and the girl on a ride, and they're kind of he's Batman. He talks about like he's lonely and but this is what he's supposed to be, the hero and stuff. And So this couple's
Right.
like getting all lovey-dovey in the Batmobile, and while they're chasing this bad guy, and they end up catching the guy, and they invite Batman to their wedding. So he shows up, and he realizes at the end, yeah, there's people I've loved before, but you know what? I meant to be alone, and I meant to just, save the city.
That's like
So
super Batman.
yeah, it was kind of funny, but yeah, then it gets kind of back to like Batman and how dark he is and stuff. So that one was good. The other one the last one I read was Harley and Ivy, which reminded me a lot of the show. So this one, they're dating, they're just dating, and Harley goes to a event, and the Joker's there with some girls. He's kind of making fun of her, like, "Oh, you don't have a date," and she's like, "No, I got a date coming," and which she doesn't. And he goes, "Okay, let's make a bet. If let's see if you get a date. If not, then you got to do whatever it was." And so Ivy shows up, and Harley's all excited. "Oh, this is good." And she's like, "I really wanted to tell you about this story that I wrote. This book that I wrote, and it's about the prom. They were, her and Ivy went to the prom." Well, Ivy shows up because she's trying to steal. It's an event for this very rare flower, and so Ivy's there to steal it. To break it open because it doesn't open. So she's there doing her job, and Harley's trying to explain to her this story that she wrote because they're in love or whatever, and Ivy's kind of ignoring her, and she's getting irritated and stuff. And comes to find out, the whole reason why she went there was to open this flower to give to Harley as a Valentine's Day gift for their 1 year anniversary. Their 1 year anniversary. But Harley's, she doesn't understand that. She's trying to talk to her, and so it was kind of that. They get in a fight with Joker. Her and Ivy get in a fight with Joker, and at the end, they jump inside the flower, close it, and they start making out. And everybody's like pissed off because the flower won't open and stuff. So yeah, it was cool. Like these stories are pretty cool. They're real short, but
No, I like hearing your review on them too. It
there's a
actually
lot
reminds me
packed
of them.
into it.
I read those earlier, so you just actually revived my memory of it. I didn't even realize I read that already. I read that. That's a series of I have 2 of the variants. So you have the one I couldn't find because I don't have
Okay.
that cover. So at first I was like,
there's more of these?
yeah, well, so they're all the same, but they're different covers. I'll send you a picture of. They're
Okay.
they're key books for Harley collectors, which
Okay. Yeah, I'm
because you're
gonna
the
have to
number
look into
one.
that then.
But yeah, so when you just were talking about it, I'm like, wait, this sounds so familiar because on one of the covers that I have, it's the big T-Rex. I think I sent you a picture when I first picked it up. It's like the big T-Rex guy and her, and I thought they were going to be one of the dates.
Yeah.
It wasn't though. So it was like a spoiler because everyone kept saying that they were going to be one of the dates on there. She goes on a date with the T-Rex. No, the T-Rex
Oh.
goes on a date with somebody else, and then she goes on a date with Ivy. So
Okay.
that's kind of funny.
Yeah,
We're going to
James,
cover more than
just go back to work,
more
James.
than just Harley.
Get out of here. You got a club to run.
What's it? A He-Man woman hater. That's what I need to start calling him, a He-Man woman hater. Oh man. But yeah, so now you just reminded me of that's cool. That's the thing with read. I read so many, sometimes I really honestly forget. But yeah, that's cool. I remember all those stories in there. So your favorite one was Kite Man?
Yeah, I think the Kite Man one was my favorite just because it got kind of weird at the end and
a little bit of a spin, yeah.
Yeah, that one was pretty funny. Just because I remember the show and how weird he was, and it fit perfect.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit of a klutz for sure. And then what other Harley ones did you review?
That was it. Just those 3 stories in this book. I haven't really cracked anything open yet. Oh. I do want to get that Guy Gardner one. Since James here, Guy Gardner is the best Green Lantern, so I really want to get deep into his story and why he's the best. So
I actually just picked up a bunch more of the older ones though. I want to get some of the newer ones. My kid's been kind of collecting that. Then I will show my Harley first before I show my other, but I actually ended up doing these 2 Harley ones. So I picked up this one not too long ago because I fell in love with the cover.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know if you've seen that one yet, but I love that cover, because I'm the #1 Harley collector.
Mm-hmm.
And in each issue, she basically is in like a nightmare of sorts. So it's cool, but this is definitely when she's dating Ivy. So that's what I was saying. This is a newer one. So this is like during the time when she's dating Ivy, but she's like out of town, so she's on her own. So even though she's supposed to be a good guy, and it starts off with her actually going after Two-Face.
Yeah.
because she's like on the good side or whatever. Without Ivy being there, she's tempted and then she gets into a lot of mischief. I mean, it's a really cool book, but the art is really, really dope.
And that's a new book that just came out, or?
Hey, K-pop. Newer. Yeah, I'd have to see. I don't even know when, to be honest, but I found it. I did not find it in like the new release though. It was in like older issues.
Oh, okay.
But I like at the end, there's this, I don't know if you've seen any of her work with Harley Quinn yet, because she's newer for it. They have like a short, and it's, I mean, it's really cute, but I mean, it's not as good as the actual story that's in it, but it's called Lovely Angel, and it's like a anime Harley Quinn.
Oh, okay.
Which I thought was really cool at the end. So there's a whole, I mean, there's a whole thing on it, but that's Erica Henderson. And so she does like a, let me see if I can find a good version of it right there. She does like that anime style.
Oh, that's cool.
The big eyes and the tears.
She's kind of newer in the Harley game, like doing art for Harley, or?
Yeah, I think because honestly, I mean, I haven't seen a lot of anime hit Harley Quinn until more recently. So I just think maybe it just wasn't as much of a hype as everyone thought. But yeah, I've been seeing her more and more. So I'm going to try to look for her if she gets any full issues. I don't know if she's done any full issues though. But this one is cool. I'm going to try to get more of the series because this actually ties into something like a bigger issue through the throughout this whole issue. Like even though it's like a bunch of mini nightmares, there's like a reoccurring theme. So you have to like read a bunch of them. This is like issue number, I think there's like 28.
Oh, okay.
So it's way too deep in them. But a lot of times with Harley, you don't have to read all the ones surrounding it to read the issue.
Yeah.
And then this one I finally got around to reading. I showed you guys this one when I first
have
got
that
it.
one. I kind of want to read that, the old lady Harley, because I remember when those came out.
No, this one's awesome. So basically it's the Joker coming back. So the Joker's old, Harley's old, Batman's like this robot guy. Let me see if I find a picture of him. Because it's, you know, it's in the future too. So it's weird. It's like a mind chip. You know, the Joker appears back, he mind chips everybody, and then it's like super in the future. Here's a picture of Batman.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
They had a better one in here, but like he's this giant like robotic guy, because you know he's more human than all of them.
Yeah.
The Joker though is like crazy looking.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I like when they do that darker art though. So this one's definitely a darker read for sure. And it's all about, you know, the Joker trying to get back at Harley. But in between all the craziness though, they keep going to flashbacks, and like I guess the Joker knocked up Harley and she's like experiencing, you know, giving birth to this child, like, and the Joker's nowhere around, and it's like baby daddy drama. Wow. But that's Batman. And Harley. Harley's not so bad. The cover shows her way older than she actually is like in the story. Yeah. So it's a lot more badass.
Yeah, I did start collecting some of those when they came out, because I thought it was a cool concept. Like, you know, it kind of reminded me of like Old Man Logan thing. Like it's cool. Yeah. DC has, you know, their own little thing with that.
I thought it was a really good read, to be honest. Really good. You'd like it. I didn't see any of the other old ones, so I missed that. I missed it when it came out. But I remember you were saying that they all came out around that time. I found this one solo, so I'm about to try to find all the other ones, because I really like the storyline. Really good.
Yeah, those ones are kind of, I don't really see them a lot. The when I go to a shop and I go to the Harley section, I don't really see a lot of the old lady, you know, those books. I don't know if they're scattered or they just didn't print a lot of them or what. I have a couple issues, maybe 2-3 issues.
I feel like that also was labeled as like a key one you should collect if you collect. Oh my god, I can't speak. If you collect Harley Quinn, that's one of the key ones you should collect. So maybe people just don't sell it. I mean, it is Connor art as well. This one that I have, I don't know if they made other covers.
Yeah,
but she does really good art. So, and then not Harley related. So for anyone that's still watching that isn't wanting to hear about Harley. Which, yes, K-pop, the darker the better, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Always. This one is no different. So Mercy. So I've been doing a lot of Mirka and Dolpha because, like, I'm obsessed and, like, we're going to become best friends. She's, like, keeps liking my stuff and, you know, so I'm all about that. But this one is, like, a Victorian monster series. So it's, like, set in an old era. Basically, in this first one, we were following like an orphan, and she her whole family, she's the last of her family. Her whole family used to run the whole whatever you're going to call it, the realm, way back when, and then they were cursed by a fallen angel. And the fallen angel is actually this like really beautiful woman in the cover or whatever. She's throughout the story. You kind of see like flashes of her. She's the fallen angel, but basically it's a cursed town that she's arriving to, and this is issue 1 and 2. So we don't know too much about the storyline other than she's clearly fallen angel and she's seeking destruction. So like that's going to be the main theme throughout the story, but there's other stuff going on too, because like I said, the town is like haunted. So there's a bunch of monsters hidden throughout. Like there's this really powerful woman who's extremely rich. And throughout the story, she has like 3 different people murdered. So there's a lot going on in it, but it's really cool. And then it's like some sad moments, like the orphan girl is being taken care of by these 2 people that live kind of like on the outskirts of the town and stuff, and kind of like steal food and shit for her and all that. But she actually works for this homeless guy who's kind of like, do you ever watch Oliver Twist?
Yeah.
So it's like also an Oliver Twist. There's a lot going on in the story. But there's like an Oliver Twist thing going on where basically she works for this man, and it's basically like some sort of factory where they have to like, you know, work relentlessly, all these children that he captured for him, and they're not allowed to take breaks, they're not allowed to eat, they're not allowed to take money or any of that kind of stuff. They just need to work, and then they're given like limited scraps. So she escapes here and there to try to get food and money, and that's when she meets the people that like live on the outside of the town, because most people who live in town will not help these children, because this man is like, I mean, he's crazy. This is the actual picture of him. So he's like one of those like crazy looking dudes. So while that's all happening, you also have, like I said, the other woman, the redhead, and she runs the brothel. So there's also a lot of mature content, which is probably what led me to this story. That's always my favorite. And there's a lot in here. So there's like a whole scene of that. And then basically by the end, after these 2 dudes get their happy ending, they're slaughtered because they got on the wrong side of this redheaded girl who you barely know much about her in these first issues. I've read a lot of the other ones, but again, I'm not going to spoil all that. And then basically where it ends is the woman on the cover, she's throughout the story, and she's really, really beautiful, but she did this for sure. This is her, but they don't tell you that in the story. So this is where it ends, is with like this guy being dead and then her arriving in the carriage. So she's just arriving back to town after like decades of never not being there. And this is, you know, what she first does when she gets there. So she's clearly, like I said, some sort of monster. She's technically a fallen angel, but we don't know that yet.
Is this a newer series or?
No, it's a little bit older, and honestly, I think everything has already been published. But this is her, and so she's got the blood on her. That's why, like, you know, it's her. So we'll see what happens when she gets there. I already started on issue 2. I'm almost done with issue 2. And this is the cover of that one. So I won't show you too much of this one, but like I said, this is good enough to read. So I'm gonna be reading all of them because it's really good. Yeah. So Kate, thanks, Katie. 5 years. Okay. Yeah, I'm like, it's been around for a while.
I'm gonna have to check that out. That looks pretty cool.
Hey, lady.
I like that older like time period.
I like like when it's like because this is the Victorian, but like, you know, anytime it's the older age, it's the art and stuff. I just think it's really beautiful. And there's just so much going on. Like I said, a lot of shit going on. But it's like if you ever watched like Bridgerton or any of those kind of stuff, it's like that, but darker. It's like horror meets classy. The art is amazing. Yeah, the art's my favorite. She does not miss. Mirka is I don't know, she's my thing right now. I like Scotty Young for the covers because they're fun, but like she's my favorite artist right now. And then obviously Bill, you know, I won't even say his last name, is always going to be one of my go-tos because he's also very dark.
Yeah, Gothic,
yes.
Yeah.
That's a good word for this one. Yeah, this one's definitely got, because it's dark and everything, and then lots of red, which I love.
Don't highlight any more of his comments. Okay?
Have you watched Bridgerton though? That is true. I was referencing that, and
I know what it is. Okay. I don't watch it, but I know what it is.
Well, it's like as if like a serial killer like showed up to Bridgerton, basically. But then like
Yeah, I
the
know what it
queen
is,
is
but
actually pretty crazy in there. So there's a lot of similarities for sure. But yeah. Yeah, they're amazing. And she does wonders with the fucking human body, which James, don't listen, you woman, cooties. But like, damn. Like she's either seen some really beautiful women or she's a knockout because like she can draw them. Um, and that's that's not just talent. You have that's because it's naturally. So
yeah.
yeast queen. I hope you're referring to Lady and not me.
No, she's referring to James.
Right.
He's the East Queen.
Okay, so let's see your pickups then. We'll do a little stack of pickups, yeah?
Yep. Just got a couple things. One of them just showed up yesterday, which the other one's not showing up till tomorrow, but that's okay. I could wait. So first off, I mean, since we're up and running now, thanks to my boy Ryan, we all got our Black Sheep Comic Club stickers. Got a whole stack
Yeah, I
of
didn't
them
even bring mine in here.
to hand
Oh,
out.
so you did the die cut ones? Let me see.
Yeah, I did the die cut ones. I like the die cut stickers.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, the shape and
yeah,
it's more formed to the shape of stuff. Yeah,
I did the round one.
They're really good stickers, like really good quality. If anybody wants to check where we got these made, Rock Paper Stickers. Our boy Ryan and his cousin, cousin. They run this place. They do good work. They do all kinds of stuff.
And the quality is amazing. My stickers are designs,
so like label printing,
thick. Really nice.
Everything's really good stuff. So I got those. So I'm happy. I finally got those to start posting all over the city. And this I picked up for $14 on Macari. Forever People #1. First Dark awesome. Side. I will show people that didn't see before why it was $14. All my shit falls over because we got ourselves a detached cover. And if you know me, I am the real low grade collector, the 0.5 hunter. So this right here is going to get me just a beautiful score, probably an NA. I don't know. We'll see.
You didn't do your
I already have a copy. I have a nicer copy, but I mean, for $14, I'm not going to pass that up. So I got that. Then I was challenged in a race to see who can pick up this book first from our boy Rob's Fat Stacks. So I got this beauty finally. A low grade. He had this and he's like, it's a low grade. I want to, get rid of it. And I said, well, I'm looking for one because I used to have one. I got rid of it. And
Joe, you should be on here.
Yo, what's up, Joe? So yeah, but the prices on this book fluctuate a lot, and I always seem to find it when it's at the high end. So I got this for a killer price. He hooked me up.
You bought that on the low grades.
Yeah, right after we got off, Robert said, "Hey, if you don't buy it, I'm going to buy it." And I said, "All right, what's your PayPal?" And I sent him the money.
Facts.
So yeah, I'm glad to have this, especially CGC. So and it's low grade. Unlike the actual.
No, I'm impressed you did it. I was a little concerned for you, just as being your buddy. I was a little concerned, but I was impressed when you pulled the plug. I was like, okay.
And James, you're absolutely right. That was history right there.
Excuses.
So and now this what was it? No Town Rob was showing this off the other day in our chat, and I had to find one. I had to find them. I went to Walmart. I started to ask the guy, if they had any. He looked at me and said, "They're sold out. We don't have them. They're sold out." So I said, "Okay, fine. I'm going to go to Walmart.com then because you guys suck." And I was able to get this. These Fuggler.
Oh, you found one.
I found one.
I kind of want the Harley Quinn. I'm glad those are coming back around.
This shit is creepy. Like these teeth are like, I think they're real. They feel like they're real.
I used to buy them for my kids, and they started at Target, I think, or something. To be honest, but I told them that the teeth were real. I said that's what happens
Yeah.
when you know they don't behave and stuff. The tooth fairy will, you know, take their teeth or their teeth. I don't know whatever I said to them at the time. It was not good, and I should not have
Yeah,
said it.
apparently I guess these have been out for a while. Or not these ones, but this brand of animal, whatever the fuck this thing is.
Fugler, yeah.
But yeah, these came out like a week ago, these DC ones. They have Harley, Joker, Batman, and
I know I need
Superman.
the Harley one. And they're only $8. So, they used to be way more.
I paid they were $20 a piece. I don't know if they were cheaper at the store. They might have been. I think Rob got them for, I can't remember what he said.
Yeah, I thought he said like $8.
Yeah. I honestly, I couldn't wait, and I didn't want to go driving around everywhere. So this was literally the last one on the website. They said there was one left, so I just got it.
Oh, geez.
I did get the Joker one as well.
Oh, that's dope.
And then I saw my, the price, my shopping cart going up in price. So I said, okay, I'm just going to get the two.
Yeah.
The Batman, they do the weaker the character, Harley is obviously the GOAT, and then you got Joker. As you go down, they get uglier. Batman's pretty ugly, and Superman is just hideous. So it looks more like
it's funny because even though I kind of agree, I definitely collect I have probably like 3 long boxes full of Batman, just alone. So like I collect a lot of Batman, and then the Joker too, a lot. Harley, I love her the most, but I don't know, they they don't sell her as much. So maybe because she's more of a hot commodity. But yeah. Batman's everywhere. Batman's a hoe. You can't get anywhere without seeing Batman.
Yeah.
But no, I would just want the Harley one. Yeah, the Harley one.
I mean, it's cool. I haven't taken it out of the box yet, but I've seen.
That'd be perfect with my.
Actually, here's what the rest of them look like. That looks.
That's cool.
How with Superman? That's
yeah, nobody cares about Superman.
One,
but yeah, he looks like a teddy bear.
This actually looks like James. If you're still in here, this looks like that statue that you have, the special needs Batman.
That actually reminds me of the little Batman comic you were just talking about the other day. I actually ended up picking up a couple. I ended up getting a double of it on accident, but I ended up getting a couple of them, and that looks like the guy that they put on the cover of that.
Yeah, that's another one I do want to read because
I want to read that.
I got them because of the homage covers they were doing, throwbacks to like the old silver golden age Batman books, but I actually do want to actually.
We should do that then on one of these next ones because I ended up grabbing them too, just because of you showing them to me.
So. I'm caught up on the series right now. I have the first 2 or 3 issues.
Now, are you ready to see my new freaking pickups? Because these ones are fucking badass. You're gonna be a little bit jelly, especially with these Harley ones. But this is me, literally. Like that's me with a stack of books. So I had to grab that. This is definitely gonna be a future cosplay, for show. And then I got that guy. Because I just had to, because it's like her traditional Harley, and then that guy, which these are all the same.
They have a Harley Quinn all-in series going right now.
Yeah.
So I know there's Batman.
I got Superman, all of the covers.
Yeah, there's like all kinds of characters going on right now. I heard it's a good series too, like the all-in or the.
Well, I've been grabbing them because if it's a character I like a lot, but I just don't really collect, because I try not to collect them because I get carried away. I grab them, so I have a lot of the all-in ones. I'll have to go through them all and see which ones.
Yeah,
those ones might be good for reading.
Yeah, I haven't been to a shop lately because the one that me and Robert go to is going to shut down. Actually, today's their last day, so.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna find somewhere else to go to get like good stuff.
I'm glad I can walk to mine, and like they are amazing. They always have my stuff ready. I walk in and they're like, "Hi, Miss Rose," or "Hey, Sabrina." Like they're so fucking badass, and all of them. It's like this group of guys that work there. They're amazing, and they always get me the exact cut. Like this one just came out, so they always pull me both because they know I want the bagged one. Yeah. So these ones I was gonna open. I have 2 polybagged, but I'm gonna wait and do it on the low grades because I usually do it on the low grades. So I'll open these on the low grades. But Lilith, this is the new issue that came out. I've been going with this whole series since they redid this. It's amazing. I love it. And usually these ones aren't so bad. They're pretty tastefully done. Not as, mature as you want. But before that one, I got the Mummy one. I did get 2 cover choices of this one because this one Tonio's been keeping up with. So I picked him up one.
Is that this week's issue?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to go because I'm
And the other cover is awesome. It's better, but I let Tonio pick which one he wanted because this is more his. So I obviously do all the monsters and stuff, but he started on this series before me. So we try not to double up too much, but we end up doing it sometimes.
Yeah, I need to go check today then because I don't have a pull list right now. So
they have a lot of good stuff. Like I said, I have a whole long, but I bought way too much the other day. So I have a whole long of just recent like pickups. That I'm going to go through. So I'll shoot you guys some if I have doubles of any of them, but those ones I definitely don't have doubles of because those are hard to find. And then I did the poly bagged of the new Heat Seeker, which the Heat Seekers, this new run that came out, I've gotten every single one, the regular and the, which this is like the, what do you call it? The shiny variant. But these ones are very mature usually when they're done. But it's this is the, because it doesn't have it on the cover because the issue I got, but this is the one, Heat Seeker.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, these ones are really cool, but they're really good looking too. James, don't look.
Please, he wants to see him on the big screen. He doesn't want to look at me anymore.
Oh, you know what? We're still new to this. Yeah, I didn't even see that comment. My bad. Yeah, I didn't move myself over. That's fine though.
We're not as professional as Only Slabs. We're more like the low grades. We're kind of all over the place.
And today's all about Mike. Mike's reading now. Like I'm just stoked. Okay.
I'm going to read some more this weekend.
So I usually grab 2, but they're $10 and I'm unemployed. But yeah, so I'll open this one on the low grades. Catch the low grades tomorrow at 7.
Friday at 7 o'clock. Well, probably 7:10 by the time Robert and James get their shit together.
Right. And if they don't frick with me too much, I will open these. Okay. Robert, he's probably not watching.
He's busy.
Sheena or Inja, hello. Oh, it's probably it's probably Sheena. Cover your toddler eyes. Yeah. I always have to pre-warn because I'm always worried that James is going to get all judgy on me. Okay. And then last night, I got to see so one of my all-time favorite bands is Terror. I love Terror. But I also really like Nails because I like that real raunchy shit. And then I haven't got to see Spirit Home. And I don't listen to them as much, but now like I'm completely sold on. They're amazing. It's like more like
I am too. How did you like Spirit World?
Really
Are
good.
They not like
really good. Really good. I really liked them. I think majority of the time too, I basically filmed them because I just really I enjoyed it. And they're
the nicest dressed metal band I've ever seen.
That's what I say. Yeah, their presence. Like they had a lot of presence. Now Terror. So Tonio's so tired of me saying this because like I love Terror. And I love the singer too. Like I just love him. And so yesterday because we were pretty drunk, I was like, oh, he could get it. You know what I mean? So he's like my favorite. So that was amazing. And then we didn't stay for too long on Nails because Taylor and Antonio had to go to work. So
yeah,
we had to cut it short. But they were amazing. So we bought shirts. While we were there, well, Tonio, I should say.
Oh, that's a sick ass shirt.
Yeah, so this is the one I got. I don't have the one that he got, but from the show, so I love it. And on the bottom it says Hell Dorado.
Yeah.
There's this like long sleeve one that they had, but it's too hot in Vegas. I would never wear it. I bought a long sleeve Spy shirt when we went to that one, and I never wore it again. So we did.
I think they just dropped a new album, didn't they? Recently, I think.
Yeah, so I didn't listen to them a lot before, and so now they're on my playlist. Like I'm sold on them. Spirit World is really good, but Tonio listened to them more. I was more Terror for sure, so I was stoked to go see them. But this was like a plus, and they were like the first. By the time we got there, was like they had just got on to start playing when we were at the door, because I was smoking a joint and being a pothead. So we were taking a minute before we went inside. And then we're the type who have like beers at our car and stuff. I even had a whole stack of books for Taylor. Like, we always come prepared. So it was really, really, really fun.
Yeah. Terror is always a good show. I've seen them multiple
Somebody
times.
lost an eyeball.
Did he really?
So So usually Taylor gets hurt, you know. So I don't go in the I'm the barricade usually. So I'm the one like, you know, knocking people back and forth or whatever. Yesterday's show they were like, no, let's not do that. So we were about like the second layer of the you know, the circle or whatever. And there's a few circle jerks like that, a little bit of crowd surf, not a lot. It wasn't even that crazy. But at some point, in the like when I think it was actually Spirit World playing, so it was like right at the beginning, this dude was super stoked to be there. He was having the time of his life. Next thing you know, he's on the floor dragging his face. Now I could feel the fucking pain because like he's dragging his whole entire face. Like he would knock it off the ground. People are all around him. People are freaking out and moving back because they could see it. Tonio apparently caught a glimpse and he's like, dude's eye is popped out. And I'm like, what? So like we're looking at people are looking around the floor and shit. I'm like, wait, is there blood? Like this guy is dragging his face across the floor. And now these places are never good places that they do these events at, but this one wasn't so terrible. But the floor is concrete and just like cluttered with just shit, and it's rough. It's not even smooth.
Oh yeah.
And he's dragging. He's got it from like I would say at least about 100 feet through the revenue.
Wow.
And like the security guard, nobody's helping. Like nobody. Like this guy's dragging himself to the end. Nobody can stop him. Nobody can really help him. When they get close enough, they're backing off. So I'm like, Tonio and I both are sitting. Taylor is just sitting there, just dancing, having a good old time. Tonio and I are sitting here like, do we want to? I don't want to see it because then like it's gonna ruin the whole vibe, you know.
Oh yeah.
And then the dude that knocked him was big. He was a big dude, and so he's just sitting there kind of like this for a minute, like
hoping nobody saw what happened.
He's just like, I don't want to hurt you, and then he ended up going crazy anyways. But yeah, I mean, it didn't do much. Like at first, we kind of were like, but then we just moved on because we really don't give a shit. Taylor was out there crowd surfing. I didn't get videos of that. I wish I did. The lead singer threw him the mic at one time. Like it's still, he always gets super involved in the show.
Yeah, I know. Really I've seen his videos. Yeah, he gets right in there.
He's wild.
I'm too old for that shit.
That's how Tonio and I feel. So like Tonio will get in there every once in a while and shit. And like it was funny because we were at the festival last year, and I think like when Korn was playing, he started to do a fucking little like circle jerk out of nowhere. You know, like because they're trying to be mild. We were at Fremont Street not too long after we started going to shows again, and Offspring are playing, and he started a little like circle jerk in the middle of the fucking you know, pathway or whatever with like a bunch of old dudes, and got all like tired by the end of it. I'm like, it's just we're too old for that shit, you know. I can hang though, but I'm not the I will get pissed. Like it's all fun and games, but I will get pissed. So, you know.
Yeah, because terror shows, yeah, they get. I remember me and Robert went to one. Well, it was Bane's last, you know, when they quote unquote, you know, called it quits back in like 2016. We saw him at the observatory, but it was, you know, it was terror. They had rotting, you know, they had all these bands there, like all the you know, people supporting Death by Stereo.
Yeah.
So, but when terror comes on, it's just a different breed. LA hardcore fans are like, they're insane.
Oh, and no, they are. Dude, yeah.
We were pinned against the wall because the room was so small. And there was this dude just flying off the stage. He would run across the stage, jump out, kick his feet out. And I mean, I thought we were going to die. But, you know, I mean, it was great. But yeah, terror brings a different breed of
well, they encourage it, you know. He's like, fuck the barricades, like, and I love that shit. And so like it's just as hard because like I used to just be so crazy. So I do. Tonio's definitely makes me a lot more cautious. So, but it's funny because like, you know, the atmosphere and the people it's just way different. So if you're not used to it, you can start some shit. Like yesterday, this dude like is about to fall, and instead of hitting the ground, he decides to like just grab my ass. Like he's just like holding my, you know. And Tonio's like, what the fuck? You know, and I'm like, yeah, just move on. Like, just move the fuck on. You know, so it's the scene. It's where you're at, you know, you're a chick. It's like, it is what it is. But like, usually we like to be a little bit in the action. Taylor likes to be in the center of the fucking action. But you know, being a chick, and someone who doesn't like just wear a t-shirt and jeans to the show, it could be interesting for sure. So you know, I've learned to be pretty tough with that kind of shit. So I'm not the most approachable when I'm out doing those things. But we always meet some pretty cool people. Like yesterday, Tonio and we were drinking quite a bit, so we were having some fun. And at one point, he was like playing the drums on my ass or whatever, and this group of girls come over and they're like, oh my God, you guys are so cute. And like, they're just drunk and they're like, you guys are so adorable. And you know, all this shit. And we're like, okay, like cool thing. Yeah, like, so it's a weird vibe for sure. And like K-pop was saying, some people will try to just fuck with you just to fuck with you if you're not actually a part of the show and you're there, because they get pissed that you're not like a part of it. So
yeah.
Yeah,
no. When you go to a Creed show, it's nap time at like preschool. Like, okay, everybody.
I feel like everyone's linking arms. You got the lighter going. Like, I don't think it's the same vibe. Like, my neck is sore by the end of the, like, you know, like different vibe for sure. And you're tired after a show because you're jumping so much and like you're moving your whole body.
Yeah, I used to get crazy like that when I was younger, but now I just want to go. If it's a place with seats, I sit my ass down the whole time. I'm just like, okay, just gonna sit here and enjoy.
Oh no, I'm up. Yeah, I'm up. I'm dancing. I'm doing my thing. I enjoy it way too much. No, there's no way I'm sitting. And if you're sitting, you're one of the ones I'm making fun of.
Yeah, no, if there's a place with seats, I'm sitting my ass down. Fuck that.
That may be true, but it's still worth it. So
James doesn't have a neck.
That's why I go to the gym. Okay.
It's just this big stump that comes out of his shoulders.
That was funny the other day too with the t-shirt, the merch stuff. Got seats for sale.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure the guy yesterday that lost his eyeball probably wished there was seats. But I'm telling you, he was so stoked and ready to go. I don't know.
What show is this at, Katie? Was this at Till Lind? Is this a Till Lindemann show? Because if it is, then I believe it.
I feel like
it gets fucking. I've seen.
Yeah, it went from 1 to 100 real quick. What happened here?
Yeah, I saw Rammstein one time. Yeah, see, I know. Yeah, I saw Rammstein one time in 2001.
I've heard of their shows. Yeah,
and it was at the Palace in Hollywood back before it changed. You know, back in the day, and it was fucking wild.
I mean, these shows get wild too, just because then you also have the whole like culture going. You have the straight edge, the not straight edge, and all of that. So like for us, for Antonio Taylor and I, we actually have to be cautious at times, because like if you're drinking or something or smoking before, which we do, and people see that in the parking lot, that could start something just because somebody feels that type of way. People literally go out of their way to like make people, I don't know, uncomfortable, I guess. I don't know, whatever they're doing.
I've kind of noticed, you know, like a lot of, especially hardcore shows, like at least the ones I've been to around here, people are pretty chill. Like there's a lot of smoking going on. Everybody's either smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, drinking, or, you know, whatever. But
yeah,
at least with my experience, I haven't seen any, you know, issue. Like everybody, you know, you got your own groups of people, like you said, you know, you got your straight edge.
For me, it's been fine. I think there was only one show where Taylor was a little concerned that maybe something would come up, but no, for me, it's been fine. It's just more the stories you hear from other people when they go through it. I don't know. I've never really had issues like where people are like approaching me when I'm out and about. So, and I wouldn't want to approach me necessarily. So I don't know. And like K-pop says, you're just chilling. You're just doing your thing. Like, so what? You don't want to booze? Don't booze.
How that show is, because I've seen him a few times, but back in the day, like in his prime, you know.
I've never seen him. That sounds like it'd be really dope.
I saw him at Ozfest twice. And I saw him on a solo, but you know, by himself, in Hollywood. But yeah, those shows used to get fucking crazy too. Like those goth, because I was goth back then. Like those, you're just fighting and you're fucking jumping, and you know they get crazy.
Well, and there's always that group of guys that come through too. You know, they have their shaved heads. They're always without the shirts, tatted up completely, walking around like all like looking for shit. Usually they're straight at. You know, it's just there's different vibes and stuff. Just depends on what they're there to do. Some are just there to hang out and listen to music, but some are usually there to fuck shit up sometimes, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's definitely.
We couldn't make the show.
He puts on quite the show.
I'm excited. You have to definitely take some clips and share them with us. So
because I heard he's making a big, you know, he's trying to do a big comeback thing, and I mean, if he's still got it, he's still got it.
Cliff, hey,
yo, what's up?
But yeah, we went from reads to hardcore, but I mean, it's all relevant, right? So when you go to hardcore, you can read stuff like the shirts. See on the back.
Yep.
But honestly, though, I think it's cool when you can mix music and comics and stuff like that too, though. So, and a lot of these stories, I read one actually last month or last week, last recommendation, I think, or maybe the week before, and it was a metal horror comic issue. So it was like a metal band that basically like worships the devil and
Oh.
kills people. Yeah. The new album is decent. Yeah, I haven't really listened too much.
Yeah, I haven't heard it yet. I might have heard one song, but yeah, I mean, I've always liked Marilyn Manson. I mean, I kind of dropped off after it was like Hollywood or Mob City, whatever came out after that. I kind of dropped off, but
I think Hollywood was the last one for me.
I mean,
I don't think I've been listening. Yeah, I'm seeing that more and more. I like at one point I wanted to collect that, but they're not the easiest to find, and a lot of people kind of collect that.
Yeah. I have a Kiss. Yeah, I have a Kiss one, a Suicidal Tendencies one. You got the System of a Down one that is the one that John does. Is it Ascension or something like that?
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah, we didn't grab that one.
That
so
pretty good.
Usually if I find them, I grab them for Tonyu. Tonyu kind of has probably more than I do for sure. He's got like a Misfits one and all that too.
I do have a System of a Down one too that John signed.
Oh, that's dope.
That I got from Torpedo Comics. My new favorite place to go.
It's the only place to shop. If you're not shopping Torpedo, I don't know where you're at.
It might be a little pricey, but they could back it up with the quality of books.
When they're really cool. So John actually is really cool. He recognizes their family. So like every time we come in, he's always chatting with the kids and things like that, which I love. But there's a lot of comic book shops. And there's the ones that are when you come with kids, they give the kids free comic books. Or whatever. So we got lucky. We have a lot of good shops out here.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Old rock and roll.
On the street.
You have to share that with us, K-pop. I haven't seen the older ones. I only see the
start posting those. I want to see those. I like picking up stuff like that.
Well, I always like Greg's post because he posts a lot of that stuff. He has all the different homage and stuff like that, or variants that have to do with music, which different ones too, not just bands. So
yeah,
I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hit up my local shop today, see if I can find some of those Harley books.
I almost did this morning when I did my coffee walk, and I'm like, no, because like I was telling Esty earlier, I already did all my shopping this week, and then yesterday I popped over just to get my box. So it should have just been Lilith, and then I picked up this stack, which was about 100, and it's just because all these polybag books and stuff.
Yeah.
And the Harley, because they had all that Harley come out, which you're gonna have to look today because I only found one of each of those. I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look. Yeah, this shop right down the street from me, I rarely go there. It's a really tiny shop. They don't have a lot of good stuff, but who knows? Maybe because I do need to find a new place to get another pull list, and because I want to keep.
So where's the closest one that's actual kind of mainstream?
The one I like going to now, I mean, I've gone there for years, but Comics, Tunes and Toys in Tustin, right? It's right, literally across the street from the post office. So if I get off in time, then I just drive across the street and go there. I love that place because they have a lot of back issues. I'll have to see, next time I go over there, I'll have to see if I can find more of those old lady Harley books because. I think
those are really cool. I want to find more of those, and I guess I could ask the guys. So a lot of times I'll tell them what I'm looking for, and they'll look for them. Yeah, you gotta have a shop that's local. Because
in Anaheim, I used to go to the one in Anaheim, the best one they ever had, but they're no more.
Yeah, there's a lot here, but as far as what's closest to me, there's one walking distance, so I just go to that one. But I usually hit up.
I'm gonna go drive up to Oakland and go swoop up some books from Cape and Cow Comics where Rob goes.
Oh, I've heard of that shop a lot.
Swooping. Yeah, he likes to swoop.
I mean, he gets some good stuff from there, so
yeah,
I wouldn't hurt to go by. I don't think I'll be going to the shop today.
Yeah, I'll probably go do a little retail therapy today.
Yeah,
go see what I can find. I want to get that Mummy book because I want to keep up with those Universal Monster books.
Yeah, and that one was also hard to find. The other covers is a lot better though, so you have to see what you can find there. But this, I mean, this cover is fine too. And then they did have the blank one. I think Robert picked that up, didn't he? They had the blank white one
Oh,
as
I have
well.
that one.
Oh,
I
you
have,
picked
yeah,
it up. Okay.
yeah, I got that one.
I saw that one, but I just didn't really.
And that's what I liked about the last place, because they had that Previews World website that they were attached to, so I was able to just order. I mean, it was bad. It got bad. My prices were getting up there, but you know,
Yeah, that's
it's
why I
cool
try
to
not to
see
do that
every
too much.
single issue, and I just go, okay, this one, this one, this one.
That's why I'm
That's
not
why,
really a pull box person, because I just feel like once you do that, you're committing to buying all this stuff. And sometimes I want to buy something else. So I like to pick, but there's ones that I can't miss. So I put the ones
yeah,
in that are specific. So I have probably like 10 issues just in and out as they come
yeah,
back out. And then they will let me know or pull sometimes. And then also if I miss, I can ask them and they'll usually get me all my stuff. So like Lilith, I missed the first, and that was going to be hard to find because even though it's a reprint, it's still they haven't brought Lilith back in forever. And Lilith
yeah,
was only like, the daughter of Satan or whatever. She wasn't really her own character. This is like her own series. And they found it for me. I don't know how. And they even got me the poly bag too. So I've been getting the poly bag and regular issue of each one. And I'm not
yeah,
good at doing that normally. So they just make it easy.
yeah, yeah. And that's why I like that website, because I'm probably still going to use it just so I can see, so I don't miss anything, and then I can go to the
Yeah.
shop and say, hey, do you have this book? And because I don't know, I got to find out which shop uses that website.
Yeah. When we gonna have to start doing our pickup videos too, because I like when we do them with the low grades, because then I can see what I'm missing, because then like I can catch up. Like Feral, I collect Feral, but I never get the really cool covers, and then Robert will pull one out, and I'm like,
Yeah,
what the hell? I missed that one. So it is cool to see the pickups so that you know like what's current, because unless you have time to keep up on all of it, there's just no way. There's so
yeah.
much. All righty, then I guess let's just share what we got going on, and then you can plug our show at the end, and that's it. So for as usual, like I always say, I hope this, and especially seeing Mike be such a freaking well versed reader, like super
Oh
well
yeah,
known in the community as like
yeah,
whatever reader, an expert reader. I hope you guys are encouraged to read more. We're going to keep doing this every single week. The new hashtag is HerdReads. So if you want to tag the Black Sheep Comic Club, Air Pirates Radio, any of us, and then put hashtag HerdReads, we will share your content and kind of uplift it. And of course, just so we can see what you guys are reading about. And then you're always more than welcome to join our show, especially if you're a Black Sheep. Just hit us up, and we're going to do this every Thursday, live or pre-recorded. So we'll keep you guys in the loop on that. Mike, what do you got?
I don't got nothing coming up, but we do got something coming up Saturday night. We got the Saturday night comic show, the Air Pirates YouTube channel, about at 7 or 7:15. It's going to be one of those two times. You'll get the notification if you subscribe, hit that bell. You can always catch us on the low grades as well on Friday nights at 7. Eventually we're gonna work our way up the chain and get on Rob's show, Only Slabs, once I collect some slabs. I got a couple, but
You're almost there.
yeah, but yeah, definitely if you want to catch us on Saturday, this Saturday at 7 o'clock. Just get there at 7 and just wait for us. The Air Pirates Saturday night comic show. Hopefully we're gonna have the whole crew.
Yes.
But yeah, that's where.
And if you guys are in the chat and want to ever hop on, definitely look out for the link, because we'll add people on at the end of the show. While seats are limited, because hello, it's us, and you all just can't sit with us. Also, P.S. we have a free account. So yeah, we will see you guys all Saturday.
When James gets on, he takes up 2 spots, so we have 1 less spot.
All right, thank you guys so much. Read more and be like Mike. Bye.